Hey everybody, today it's in September, it's mid-September, and we've been kind of out of summer for about, I would say, a month now. Um, we've been experiencing weather that's more similar to winter in the south, and so it's past time that we do some winter prep here on the homestead. I have done a few things around the property. I we harvested the herbs, and I have done some clearing and trying to start getting organized for the winter. Started putting some stuff up in the barn and for storage for the winter. But I still need to I need to put the storm windows in, the screen doors on the back and the front of the house. I need to bring some plants in. I need to insulate the chicken coop, and I want to create a place for our dog to go to the bathroom this winter where it would be easy for us to clean it up, and that way we don't have to deal with all the mess in the springtime. And another thing on my to-do list was to get all the stuff tilled up that I want, all the ground broken that I want done for the spring. But I don't think that, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get all that done before the ground freezes. So if not, it's no big deal. It'll just create more work for me to do in the spring rather than now. So what I'm working on today is I have brought in these shelves from the barn. It's basically just made out of like OSB and some random wood. And they were in the barn when we moved into the property, and so I've moved them into our downstairs laundry room / storage area. And it's a mess down here, but I am just taking up this little space in the back part of the room so that I can set this up for us to grow our seedlings, or start our seedlings in the spring. What I'm also doing is I'm bringing in the tomato plants and the peppers and some of the herbs that I had in the greenhouse. Because I didn't have any success with growing my tomatoes from seedling, we kind of got behind in that area, and so the growing season wasn't long enough for my tomato plants. So they look really great, but I don't think they're going to last long and produce any fruit in the greenhouse before it gets too cold. So I'm working on bringing them in so that I can experiment and see if they will successfully grow and produce fruit inside the house. So I went to Lowe's and I bought one of these lights. It's a grow light, and it's an LED. It is 48 inches long, and you can connect up to 8 of them for growing inside your house. So I went and I bought that, and I've got it installed here. In this area we already had a light fixture that was suspended from the ceiling, just like one of those shop lights with the long light bulbs, and it just plugged into the ceiling. So it was the perfect spot for me to put this new grow light that I got, because the hooks were already there, the plug was already there, and this was just, it seemed like the best spot for me to do this little experiment. So this is the set of shelves that was in the barn. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, and I plan to get 6 grow lights. So I can order them off of Amazon, and they basically, you peel the backing off and stick them on something. So I plan to get order enough of them to mount them to the bottom of each shelf, and then I plan to use this shelving system with the grow lights on it as a way to start my seedlings in the spring. And in the meantime, hang on buddy. In the meantime, I do have some herbs down there, and I'm setting up these bins to use as like big pots for my tomatoes and my peppers, and I've also got some 5-gallon buckets that I'm going to prep for the tomatoes also. As you can see, it's like a little bit crowded in here. We've got some stuff that I need to clear out and organize, but for right now, this is all the space that I need. So once I get the plants in and safe, then I will work on clearing this out and expanding the space so that way, you know, it's a little easier to move around down here. Here's the grow light, and like I said, the hooks in the ceiling were already there, and then there was an outlet in the ceiling already where the other light was already hanging and plugged in. So all I had to do was take the grow light out of the box, attach the chains, hang it up, and plug it in. And I'll turn the light off so you can see what it looks like. It's basically just a like little bar light, and it has the right kind of light for growing seedlings and also mature plants. So, and then this is the light that we had over here already. And I don't really know what I'm going to do with that, so it's just over there for right now. And I need to list this, whatever this thing, exercise equipment is, on Facebook Marketplace for free, and somebody can just come get it because I need it gone and I don't feel like moving it. But that'll clear up some space for the rest of my plants, and then I can clear all this stuff out too. So what I'm working on now is I'm just drilling some holes. I have these bins. I was using these bins to store the kids' winter clothes in, or like their seasonal clothes. So I ended up actually vacuum sealing all of their winter clothes, so I didn't need these bins anymore. And I thought they would be perfect for planting, bringing in my pepper plants. But you know, you got to have some type of drainage, so I'm working on drilling holes in the bottom of them, and then I plan to set them on their lids so that way when I water them and they need to drain, they can drain out into the lid instead of on the floor. So the kids, while I'm working on drilling holes in these bins and buckets and stuff, the kids are outside transplanting my thyme and oregano and sage into these trays and bringing those in from the garden. So I got these 2 buckets. I've seen in other people's greenhouses that this is what they grow their tomatoes in. So I bought 2. I have 2 really awesome tomato plants in the greenhouse. The other 3 aren't doing as well. So I was really just thinking about bringing those 2 really big ones in. And so that's why I only got 2 buckets. But now I'm kind of wishing I would have got like 5 or 6 buckets to try to bring all the tomato plants in. Because I feel like if it goes well, I feel like once I get the ones that aren't doing well in the house, then they could improve. So I'm going to use these 2 for the biggest tomato plants that I have, and then I'm hoping to find something else that I could plant the other ones in, but we'll have to see. If not, it's no big deal because I'm not really counting on this working. I'm just trying to, at this point, gather information and seeing if it does work. If so, like, that will help me kind of like make some decisions for next year and kind of see what I can do to be a little bit more successful in other areas. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but I've got drainage holes drilled in both the buckets and the bins. Now, with the bins, I decided to, that they could drain onto the lids, but I don't have lids for these buckets, so I'm gonna have to come up with something that I can put under them so that if they do drain, they don't drain all over the floor. But I guess that's a battle for not right now. Okay, I found another bin that I could probably fit, I mean, at least one, if not two tomato plants. I probably shouldn't fit 2 tomato plants in here, but I mean, at this point, they're just gonna die in the greenhouse anyway. So I'm pretty lucky that the Mr. Fitz has had a front row seat to my crazy for going on 15 years now. So he's not going to be phased at all when he comes home and finds holes drilled into all the buckets and spare bins that I could find. So just have to get dressed so I can go outside and get these plants brought into the house. It's one of the warmer days today. I woke up this morning and it's at 4:30 this morning. It said 45 degrees outside, so that's actually warmer than it's been for the past like week or two. But I really don't like being cold while I'm working, and so I'd rather overdress and over prepare for the weather than have to come back inside and get more clothes. So I actually dug out my coveralls the other day, a couple days ago. So I was doing some rearranging outside and just didn't really want to have to deal with worrying about getting dirty and being cold and stuff. So, and I figured I was going to need them out pretty soon anyway for the winter, so I might as well go ahead and get them out. Okay, now I'm fully prepared. Here we go. I'm actually really nervous about this. The plants are doing so good right now. And they're really tall and starting to really leaf out and everything. I've actually got a couple tomatoes on there. And I'm just really nervous that digging them up and taking them in and disturbing them too much is going to kill them. But I know that if I leave them out here, they will die. I don't know when they'll die. I don't know how long they'll be okay out here. But I don't want to take the chances that, you know, they die out here. I wait too long to bring them in, and then they die, and then the whole thing's ruined anyway. So I'm just going to, you know, take my chances, I guess. But yeah, they are looking really good, and starting to get a lot of blossoms on them. It just blows my mind how quickly the growing season went up here. And how long it took my plants to like get going. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm going to go ahead and get these dug up now. So I've got some of this down to earth all-purpose fertilizer. I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, add some fertilizer while I'm at it. I might as well. So I can go ahead and mix that into the dirt before I even put the tomato plant in there. Here goes nothing. I'm so nervous. I don't want to hurt it. I really do need an extra pair of hands. I really hope they survive this. They're looking so good. Uh-oh, I just broke off a leaf. Okay, now I'm kind of wishing I had brought some string out here. I didn't think about that. Okay. That one broke too. Oh! Okay, well, maybe it'll just sit there for now. Oh no, it's not going to. Ooh, I do have zip ties. Those will probably be better. Okay. Need this to stay on top. Okay. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, I've got like 4 zip ties, so that's helpful. There. Now, I think what I'll probably do is go ahead and take this one in, and that'll give me space to get the other one out of the ground and into this bucket. I'm super nervous about carrying this in. I did it. It's in here. Whew. It really wasn't that heavy. It was just like, awkward to get it through the door, and you know, I had to like bend down so that the top part could fit. Now I'm tired. That's weird. in are jalapenos, and I want to keep each type of pepper in its own container. We haven't gotten any peppers off these plants yet. This one here has like a lot on, but they're growing really slowly. I'm hoping that by bringing them in and warming them up, giving them a little fertilizer and consistent light, because they really weren't getting any light back here. I'm hoping that that I can get some peppers off of them. And if I get peppers and tomatoes, I've already got a ton of cilantro. I could make salsa with mostly everything that I grew myself, except onions. I'll want to add some onions. So we'll see what we can get done here. These here are jalapenos, like I said, and then here I've got a Carolina Reaper, and then I've got habaneros back here. The habaneros didn't do anything at all. Like, they didn't even grow. I mean, this one here grew maybe like a couple inches. The other one didn't do anything at all. I'm hoping that we can bring some life to them by bringing them inside where it's warm and providing them with some light. Because like I said, back here in this corner, they didn't really get any light, and I didn't take that into consideration when building these beds and planting the plants where I did. So we'll see. Okay, everything's in. I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes.